how much does YouTube Shorts pay for a million views? So the real answer is going to shock you, and it's not what you've been told. Most people think YouTube pays the same rate for every million views you get. The reality is the number varies widely. So make sure to watch till the end to find out how to maximize your revenue with one simple trick that I'm going to share in this video. Okay, so first, what actually determines your pay? So there are four things that determines how much you're gonna make. The first thing is RPM and CPM. So most people would be asking, what's the difference between RPM and CPM? Like RPM is rate per milestone and CPM is cost per milestone. So the RPM is how much YouTube is paying to you guys per 1,000 views, and CPM is how much YouTube is getting paid by the advertisers. The second thing is the audience location. So if the audience is from the US and English speaking countries, your RPM would be higher. If your audience is from non-English speaking countries like Philippines, India, Bangladesh, then your RPM would be much lower. The third thing is the niche. So what niche you're in, because it highly influences how much you're gonna get paid. And the fourth thing is time of the year. So there are few months in a year in which your RPM is much higher than usual. So let me show you the real numbers from my channel. So I've got paid $85 for 1.6 million views. And that's around like $70 per million views with the $0.05 RPM, which is very low. And the reason why is, as I mentioned earlier, because the audience is from the non-English speaking countries, just like India, Pakistan, Algeria, France. So the United States is in the top 5, but it's 3.8%. That's why the RPM is very low. If the United States was not in the top 5, then the RPM would be much lower. Let's go to our second example. I got paid $71 for that. This is another shot, and I got paid $71 per million views, and the RPM was 0.07. So it was much higher than the last one, but I got paid the same. Okay, so the reason why is the same, non-English speaking countries. Let's move forward. This is another channel of mine, which made me around $112, and it's less than a million views. So it would have made around $150 per million views, and you can see the RPM is high compared to the last one. It's like 3 times, and the reason why is because there are English speaking countries here, except for this one and this one, but the majority is English speaking countries with a higher number of people watching from the US and the UK. So that's the reason why the RPM was much higher than the other ones. This is another example. I made $20 just from 77,000 views because the RPM was $0.25, which is the 5 times the amount of the first channels. So in easy words, I would have made $250 just from getting million views. Okay, so but does the RPM really matters? Because there is a short which got 46 million views with a very low RPM of $0.06, but still I made around $3,000. Because if you're making an international content, which sometimes Mr. Beast and some other YouTubers make, the short really gets multiple millions of views. But if you're making a content which is just focused to the English audience, there are very few people interested in that topic. So the views are less, but the RPM is high. So I really recommend to have 2 channels at least. One of them should be an international audience, one of them should be an English speaking audience. But the right question would be how to maximize it, how to maximize the RPM. So before I move forward, make sure you leave a like if you find this content helpful, and make sure you subscribe because I will be posting every single day of the week to help you guys succeed in the YouTube automation business. So make sure you subscribe. So let's move back to our topic, how to maximize the RPM. So first of all, make sure to increase your shorts length because shorts length actually influences how much you're gonna get paid. Suppose you're making a short which is targeting English audience countries, just like the US, and the short is 30 seconds long, and the average view duration is around 20 or 25 seconds, or even 30 seconds, so around 100%. You'll be getting paid anywhere from $0.20 to $0.30, and the same short which is around a 1 minute mark, and the average view duration is around 50 seconds to 1 minute, then your RPM would be $0.40 to $0.50. So make sure to increase your shorts length, and don't intentionally increase it, like that's really bad. But if you can help people understand more about the topic you're talking about, then I would really prefer you to increase your shorts length and try to post English language content. If not, then just try to get as many views as possible by creating the best shots. So the fourth thing, it depends upon the time of year, just like I mentioned earlier. So make sure to choose high paying niche. That's the fifth thing. So how are you gonna choose the high paying niche? If you search on Google, what are the high paying niches on YouTube, they'll just give you a list, because it will highly influence how much you're gonna make for the same amount of views. And that's how to maximize the revenue. So again, how much does YouTube Shorts actually pay for 1 million views? So the honest answer is YouTube pays anywhere from around $10 per million views. That's the lowest it's paying. I haven't seen someone paid less than that. So that's the lowest YouTube is actually paying per million views. And the highest I've seen someone get paid is around $700 per million views with a $0.67 RPM. It pays between $10 to $800 per million views. And it depends upon audience, niche, time of the year, and shorts length. So comment down below how many subscribers does your channel have. And if you want to know how to find a viral niche, make sure you check out this video.